In this video, we're going to look at the new updated Form 7200. And just to show you how important this is, this is the credit for the advance payment for employee credit due to COVID-19. And we've done several other programs on it, but why this is so important this morning, and I'm just going to read right here off the website. In the instructions for Form 7200, it says on the IRS webpage, wait to file Form 7200 for the second quarter of 2021 until the newest revision is available. It just came out. So those of you, and I'm even getting calls on it, some of you that have said, how soon will the form be out? It's now out, so you can immediately start filing for that advanced refund now. The big example on this is the example you get somebody that works for $10,000 a year. For 2021, that credit is $7,000. But as that is paid out in payroll, we use this Form 7200 to get an advance credit, and then we reconcile it on the 941. So also I want to do in this video, because we have other videos on actually how to do the 7200, I want to give you the updates to this. As we go down through, if we look here at the form, I'm going to use the pen. And right here, if you looked at the January form, maybe here's the most important thing, and I'll circle it right here. First thing you have to do is be sure you're using a revised April 2021 form. The ones we've been using was the Form 7200 that was revised in January of 2021. So this makes a second 7200 that's been revised from the original one. So when you go out and search, there's actually 3 different 7200s. And remember, the 7200 can only be used in a current payroll period forward. So no 7200 form applies except for this one. So what happens is you're going to use this, and I'm going to move over here again in the top section. On the form in January, it had first, second, and third quarter. You'll notice this one has second, third, and fourth quarter only on it. So that's one of the changes. The next change is here on line B, part 1. The line before wanted to know whether or not the business started on or after January 1st of 2020. That line has now been removed because of the Rescue Act, the American Rescue Act. They've qualified some more additional businesses, and that line did not need to be there. That line now says, enter the total number of employees to whom you paid qualified wages eligible for the employee retention credit for this quarter. Now, it's not how many employees do you have or how much your wages. It's called, they want the total number of employees that qualify. Because when you do the credit, it's based on employee by employee. So this line B, a new line here, you're going to now be putting in the number of employees that had qualified wages. So that's a big change. The other thing in part 1, line G, they now want to know the number of individuals provided COBRA premium assistance during the quarter for an advance request. And that line was added again because of the rescue plan, the American Rescue Plan that came out in March. And so now, from a period of April 1st through September 1st, if the COBRA payment premiums were because of related to a government shutdown or a partial shutdown, then you would qualify. And then the next item they changed is there's a new line H here. Looking at part 1, line H. If you're eligible for employee retention credit solely because your business is a recovery startup business, check here. And that's really what was in line B on the January form has been replaced, as we said a minute ago, by wanting the total number of employees. But what happened to that startup business? It's now down in H. You check that box, and then you're going to see the instructions and what qualifies for that. What qualifies for that recovery startup business, which was again part of the American Rescue Act, now has been added to the form. And then finally, part 2. Line 4 says your total COBRA premium, line 4. They've added a line again because of the American Rescue Act added this COVID premium credit for COVID payments related to a partial or complete shutdown. So that's the other change. So again, kind of recapping here, number 1 is you've got to use the form dated April 21st, April of 2021, I should say. And then you've got to change is line B, line G, line H, and part 1. Part 2 is line 4. Now, did this change your calculations? Only if it applies to your COBRA, or if you have a recovery startup business. So for most of you, you're still going to do the same calculation. And in our video series of hitting a home run with ERC, this 7,200 would be at our third base to get an advanced credit. And so you now are ready to just, everything you've already calculated before, on an old form even, you're going to now put it on this new form. Remember, if you've already filed a 7,200, I've searched everywhere, there's no answer to this, but if we follow what has happened to the prior 2 versions of this form, is you cannot file a corrected 7,200. But what you will do is, if you've already done that, my recommendation is you're just going to continue as we have in the past. If you've got another 7,200 in the second quarter already filed on the wrong form, you can't amend it. That actually gets reconciled at the end of the second quarter. But on the 7,200, let's say you filed one already in the second quarter, and this is going to be the second one. Then what's going to happen is you're going to do as if it was filed on the old one and accumulate. And that's kind of getting into how to calculate. And remember, these all, you just keep accumulating them until the end of the quarter. That's kind of the important facts. Look forward to seeing future videos. But again, this 7,200 is really a hot topic. Hit the subscribe button there because we're going to continue our series. Now with this new 7,200 form, we're going to put it in hitting a home run with the ERC at third base. So you'll also see the same form over there in more detail and being calculated. See you there. Thank you. Hope this helps.